Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video.
Hello, I'm Katie, and every time I sit down at my desk to make something, I'm faced with this thing that is the scariest thing in the world, and that is a blank sheet of paper with nothing on it. Let's talk about it. I am an illustrator. I do whimsical children's book, storybook type illustrations. If you watched my previous video, you would know that I've been creatively blocked for a minute now, and it's hard for me to make personal work. And this has been the first personal painting I've made in a very long time. And I thought this piece would be a great case study on how I find inspiration and how I get my ideas. The first thing I do is just step away. If I'm trying to force it, it will never come. I go find an activity to do that will also fill my creative cup in a way that is not what I'm trying to do. I took myself on a little artist date to my local thrift store to find little bits and bobs. Tonight we're doing a craft night in front of the TV. I'm so freaking excited. So I have a couple little projects that I want to do. I'll show you what I got at that art thrift store. My pole showcase is this Sunday, and I cut these little shorts. I had jeans and I cut these little shorts. Doing like a group choreography, and we're doing a pop of red, leather jacket, biker girl vibe. It's like an old red t-shirt, so I just used that, and I want to sew a red heart on the butt. I think it'll be really cute and hot. This weekend I'm also hosting Friendsgiving at my place, so a bunch of my friends are coming over, potluck style. I bought this green ribbon that was really pretty, and then I also bought red ribbon for the pole showcase. I also want to make these holiday ornaments. Everything I got at that place was less than $5 altogether, so I got these like little scrap fabrics so I can make those ornaments. I got a bunch of different patterns. I think it would be really cute mismatched. And then the last thing I got there was a bunch of buttons. They're in this bag here. And I want to distress these a little bit more, so it's gonna be a fun little project. I'm gonna watch some TV. I think my game plan here, I have these two colors. I think I like the contrast of this darker maroon over the white. What do you think? Yeah, I think I like the maroon. So I have my needles here. And I think, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing at all. And and that is the fun of this right now. So I'm just gonna freaking go for it. But after this performance, it's fine if these don't last. I hope they do, but you know, it's not the end of the world. At this point, I didn't have any ideas for an illustration. After I had my little crafting session, I was hosting a Friendsgiving with all my friends, and this is where the idea for this painting was truly born. My head was still empty, but the seeds were planted at this point. I find that a huge well of inspiration for me comes from my close relationships with my friends and my daily life. I want my art to be shaped by my own experiences, and I want it to feel genuine and authentic because it did come from me, which is why I want to caution using social media as a main source of your inspiration. You can learn a lot from the stories and processes of other artists, but when you're constantly looking at other people's work and when you're comparing your work to others' work, you can never grow on your own. When you're mindlessly scrolling, you may subconsciously be influenced by other people's work and you might not even know it, and it is honestly a huge distraction for me. I spend hours on TikTok and Instagram. I'm really trying to fix that. But hey, we're all guilty of doom scrolling and comparing ourselves to other people's work. I know I do it all the time. I really think it's important to find a balance with that, to figure out your own artistic voice. So when I started week 4 of the Artist Way, I tried to delete TikTok. I'm telling you right now, it did not work, but I definitely reduced my screen time. All right, this week we're recovering a sense of integrity. Literally right off the bat, she's already clocking my tea about the morning pages. She said, I've noticed that many tend to neglect or abandon the pages whenever an unpleasant piece of clarity is about to emerge. And I feel like maybe that's why sometimes I'm not doing that. Like, they are hard. I feel like any type of journaling and like processing of like those deep thoughts that are in your head is so hard, and it's something like I think I actively avoid doing sometimes. So another huge part of this week is what she calls reading deprivation, which is basically not reading anything for the week. I am doing a little bit of studying, and I feel like I have to finish those in a timely manner, so I'm not gonna not read, but I am going to delete TikTok right now because it's not reading that is trapping me, it is TikTok and social media. Let me just pull up my screen time really quickly. In the beginning of November, my daily average was 7 hours and 36 minutes. Ever since I've started this, it has gone down. So the next week I was 6 hours and 26 minutes. The week after that, last week I was down to 5 hours and 48 minutes. And so far my average this week is 5 hours. My second most used app is TikTok. And last week I spent 8 hours and 47 minutes on TikTok. That is a whole work day. I could have done a painting in that time, and I didn't even do any painting last week. I'm going in and deleting it. I'm deleting it. Deleted. I have a meeting with my agent to discuss my picture book idea, and so far and I'm really excited to hear her thoughts on it. I'm just gonna catch up with her for a little bit. Yeah, it's been a minute, honestly. We haven't chatted in like literally so long. I'm ready to start, honestly, I think. Yeah. I just finished my thumbnail for my newest video. I hope you guys like it. I'm gonna upload it literally right now. I feel like it's kind of a vulnerable video, so yeah. And we will see. So after pitching my idea to her, the next step would be writing the manuscript, which should be around 500 words. And in order to submit that to publishers and stuff, they'd like to see 2 big full color spreads and then some character artwork. So yeah, I'm excited to build this world. And then we also talked about another project, so. And then after my little Friendsgiving, everything kind of just clicked with this piece. It was a few days before the holiday weekend, so Thanksgiving was around the corner. It's that week where like no one is really working. I was waiting on emails and feedback from a couple companies. I was not getting it. Everyone was taking off, so I was just kind of like twiddling my thumbs for a few days, and I was like, you know what? Why am I waiting on other people's emails when I could just do my own work right now? Duh. We did a little potluck style Friendsgiving, so everyone brought their own foods, and I wanted a way to remember all the delicious foods they brought. I don't remember who it was, but I definitely remember I talked about trench coats with maybe like 2 people that week. And yeah, those 2 things were in my head, and then they kind of like melted together into the idea. I started doing a sketch, and the first draft here is never going to be the final, so I will do sketches over and over until I'm happy with an idea. I think just putting something on the page, no matter how bad it is the first crucial step. Like, it doesn't matter if it's bad, just put it on the page and then you could develop it further. Right now I'm trying to write my own picture book, and I'm very afraid of writing, so even staring at a page before I write something is so hard for me. The first thing I write down, I just have to keep editing and revising, and it's the same with the sketch as it is with writing, as I'm learning now. Here's a little insight into my thought process in the moment. Okay, as I was sketching this, so originally I was gonna have the turkey as one of the foods in here, but then I didn't really know what this guy was. Like, it was just like a made up character. But then doing the second sketch, this is why I do like 3 or 4 sketches, because that's how I develop my idea. I was thinking, what if he's the turkey and he is trying to get you to eat all the other Thanksgiving foods on the table that aren't turkey? And I think it would be really cute to have like a really nice designed cape with like a bunch of patterns and stuff. And then in his shirt pocket, he has like knives and napkins and forks. And then I just did like the turkey. What is it called? Just to show that he's a turkey. I don't know how many I'll have, like maybe that much. I ended up being happy with how that one turned out, so I transferred that sketch onto watercolor paper, and then I started to paint. For a while, I felt really out of touch with my inner world and my own brain, and tapping back into myself has really helped me with getting out of my creative block. Other things you do if you're feeling similarly is going to a museum, sketching what you see in a park, reading books, watching movies, talking to a friend, or even just doing something that you've never done before, like trying another way of expressing yourself that isn't your chosen medium. I've been really into pole dancing, and that's just a completely different way of expressing myself that is not painting. I also had my first choreographed showcase after this Friendsgiving on that Sunday, and it was so much fun. It was the first time I performed in front of an audience. I did it with a group of about 10 really amazing, talented, beautiful people, and I just felt like a rush of adrenaline as soon as the music started, and it was so fun, and that really also filled my creative cup. There are so many things you do. The possibilities are endless. Just choose one, stick to it, and try it out, do it, and then maybe that will help you with your art. Yeah, I found that romanticizing life again has really helped me. I don't know if it sounds stupid. Does it sound stupid? Just romanticize your life. Find the joy in the small things. Romanticize the artistic process. Sometimes I dread the process, and I'll put it off, and I'll clean my whole apartment before starting a painting because I know I'll be locked in for 8 hours on this painting. It's hard on my mind because I'm like constantly making like these small decisions while painting. I found that romanticizing the process again has really made me fall in love with what I do again. Yeah, be silly, and most importantly, be yourself throughout the whole thing. I'm going on a tangent here, but with the rise of AI in art, I feel like it's so important to stay true to yourself. Like, AI can't take away your experiences and your process and your enjoyment and expression of those things. And people, real people like you and I, will be able to see you shine through your art, and people will appreciate it because it was created authentically by you, which is what I try to tell myself when I get down about like everything that's happening in the art world. Each time I'm in the middle of a new piece, I remember how grueling and simultaneously enjoyable it is. Like, it's such a push and a pull. And when I'm painting, it's the only time where I could truly tune out the outside world. I am so focused on the present, and all my thoughts about everything else is gone. I'm only focused on the piece in front of me and how I'm going to finish it. I love this silly little suspicious turkey man with Thanksgiving sides in his trench coat, and when I see the final, I realize that the blank page isn't really that scary after all, until I find another blank page in front of me. A quick word on Squarespace. It's no secret that Squarespace has been my website hosting platform for the past 4 years. It's an all-in-one platform for artists and small business owners like us to easily create a beautiful, well-designed web page. I recently redesigned my website to give it a sleek, professional feel, and it currently houses my illustration portfolio and all the important stuff like social media links and my client contact form. You can create your own site in seconds with their ready-made templates and customize it to fit your exact needs with their design intelligence and visual design tools, which are very intuitive, by the way.
really easy to figure out. I hosted my shop on Squarespace for a few years and I really highly recommend it. So if you're ready to get started, head to squarespace.com/KatieMai to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
I use Holbein acrylic wash for this piece if I didn't say that already. I changed the color of this cape probably like 4 times, so then I just decided to do it digitally instead of just painting it over and over again because it was kind of getting a little bit too thick. I kind of left him on my table for a few days because I didn't finish him before Thanksgiving. So I came back to it after a couple days, I scanned it in, and I brought it to my iPad. On my notes app here, first is my list of ingredients for my spiced rum that I made for my friends. And then at the bottom, I forget where I was, but I was like, this would be a great caption for this piece. And it's care for a side, ask a gentleman who looks suspiciously like a turkey. I thought that was really cute and silly. So I wrote that down and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna finish this guy. So I brought him into Photoshop on my iPad. So this is what it looks like on my iPad. And this is what he looks like in real life. I edit the colors just ever so slightly, and then yeah, you could see all the food details in the cape. It's nice to do these things digitally because I can get clean details. We have some beans and weenies. We have a pumpkin pie. My friend made a delicious pumpkin pie. It was so good. We have some butternut squash soup my friend Tina made. I made stuffing. There were green beans. It was all so yummy. Oh, we have some pierogies up there as well, and chocolate chip cookies. Everyone did a great job on all the food, and I thought this was a really great way to remember a really fun weekend. And now every time I look at this piece, I'll be reminded about all the fun times I had with my friends. And that is how Turkey Man came to be. Thank you all for listening to me talk today. Let me know in the comments what your art process looks like. Subscribe to my channel if you aren't already subscribed, and have a beautiful day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.